What is up, everyone? I'm Jeff London. This is the Mediocre Alaskan Podcast. I'm here with Liz Thomsen. Well, not here, via Zoom here. Here with Liz Thomsen, the co-owner of Fish and Chicks, a food truck in Craig, Alaska, over on Prince of Wales Island. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to talk, and congratulations on your new baby.
Of course. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
So, why a food truck, and why Craig?
Well, first off, Jill and I both, we live here. We've lived here, most of our whole life besides leaving for school. And prior to opening the food truck, we were coworkers at a dental office. We enjoyed it, but we weren't passionate about it. And we were wanting to make a career change. And because both of us love food and we love to cook, the island, is desperate for some new food options. So we started talking restaurants and kind of, moved our direction to a food truck. We had, I think, thought at the time, it seemed more of a realistic goal price-wise, as opposed to trying to find a building or lease a space. And it seemed exciting. A food truck seemed exciting, especially because there's not one on the island. So,
how scary was that? Because most people have grand ideas, but few people actually follow through. So how did you go from that, we have this idea, to actually, hey, let's do this? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty scary. It was just an idea for quite some time. And I don't know, I can't remember exactly at what point we had just said, like, we got to do this. We got to figure out how to make it happen. So we started researching in how to get the licensing for it and what all we needed. And then it was time to find a truck. And of course we had to figure out, what kind of truck we needed, what equipment we needed. And it was a process. It took a lot of time and, a lot of discussions on what it exactly was that we wanted to do and with the truck. So we ended up being at a standstill for a little bit. And then we came across a food truck online, and we just decided to go for it. It was out of Portland. And we went ahead and just did it. We just, bit the bullet and bought the truck.
Nice.
And brought it up. And then, it was kind of just, that was the biggest step we needed to do, was just get the actual truck and get it up here. So after that, it was all the other things we had to get in line. But once we did that, there's no going back. So.
Yeah. What are some business challenges that you've had? Because as you said, Prince of Wales is desperate for a new eatery, but that doesn't mean it's going to be, it's still an island and it's still, sparsely populated. So what are some of the business challenges that you've encountered over the last couple of years, even pre-COVID?
Oh yeah. I mean, we've faced a lot of challenges, a lot, that we didn't expect. We did a ton of research before going into this, and we thought we were prepared. And we weren't, it was new to us. And so first off, weather's always a challenge for the food truck, especially wintertime when it's cold and freezing. And then just trying to develop customers, returning customers, because for a lot of people here, they didn't really grasp the concept of a food truck. A lot of people didn't really know what it was, or they were almost scared to come up and order for some reason. So it took a while to develop our customer base. So the first year was tough. We had a lot of kinks to work out. It was a huge learning curve for us, or we had a lot of learning curves thrown at us. So I guess mainly it was just figuring out the truck and what worked what worked for what kind of food we can serve, for the space that we have in there. And yeah, I don't know.
What about like ordering? Because obviously you have to buy in bulk, and are you getting your supplies off barge? And then if you're trying to buy especially seafood, if you're buying it market, if you go into the store or somewhere trying to buy it and to get it, your expense is going to be way too much. So what about ordering supplies? Where do you get your fish and some of those other that kind of the overhead that challenges that you face with a restaurant there or food truck there?
Yeah, so all of our seafood is local. That was one thing from the beginning that we said we absolutely wanted to do. We live somewhere where there's an abundant amount of seafood, and so we buy it locally. It's definitely very expensive, and that's why our menu items might be a little higher price than the standard around here. Because the seafood's not cheap. We do bulk order all of our dry goods and like French fries and that sort of thing. A large company that comes up on the barge from Seattle. So that's the base of all of our products. It comes from a large company, and then all the seafood is local.
Yeah. Have you had issues with barges? Yeah, something missing the barge or anything like that all of a sudden you're out of some material, something that you need to cook, or you didn't order enough, or have you had issues where you have to wait for things?
No, not too bad. Every once in a while, the place you order from might be out of stock of something, but usually it's something we could just grab at the grocery store in town. Mm-hmm. But of course, there's been times where we do our best to figure out what we're going to need for the coming week. But, every once in a while we're not accurate and we'll get low on stuff. So there's been lots of times where like, sorry, we can't open tomorrow, or we're closing early today. We ran out of stuff. So that's pretty common. And I think to be expected with, what we could even store. We could only order so much, stuff for what we can even store in the food truck.
Yeah. Yeah. I love fish tacos. So people would say maybe that I'm not a good source or a good judge of fish tacos because if I love fish tacos, you can't trust me. But you can do fish tacos wrong. So when I say that your fish tacos were awesome, I mean it. I think the first time I had them was probably at the Craig Ball Field, some 4th of July, maybe a couple of years ago. And your fish tacos are really, really good. How did you know that you had a recipe that was good enough to sell?
Well, we didn't originally. We took a lot of practice doing it. We spent a lot of nights prior to opening practicing our recipes and trying to figure out what was good. So we did a lot of that. And then once we started, we weren't perfect when we first opened. We ended up altering things a little bit, yeah, that's just it. It just took doing it a bunch of times and hearing feedback, obviously, from customers too. And just a little alterations here and there on menu items if it was necessary, and tried to get it, as perfect and good as we can get it or want it.
Has there ever been a discrepancy between something that you really like, but you're not sure if it will sell, or do you just kind of throw it out there anyway and then see how the customers respond?
Yeah. So we do specials every day. We don't have a set, like a certain special set for a certain day. It's kind of what we have on hand. We try to use all of our product as best as we can. So we have a decent amount of different specials that we do. So we have our main menu. Then just when we think like a few things that was like, people didn't come running for it, or we didn't hear like too much feedback on it. If people love something, they let us know. So we try to feel that out a little bit. So if we feel like it wasn't very popular, we don't do it again. But it's fun to be able to do specials and do other things, other than seafood or just stuff that we want to create or experiment with and see how the customers like it.
Yeah. What's been your most successful dish, order, recipe, or whatever?
I'll have to say the shrimp tacos. Um, it's just one that always seems to be, we get someone that comes up that's either it's their first time or they've been told by somebody like, I was told I got to try the shrimp tacos, or people will come back and state, I had the shrimp tacos, I got to have those again. So I think probably the most talked about dish is the shrimp tacos.
Wow.
And the bestseller. Yeah.
I worked at Papa's Pizza when I was growing up, and after, a couple of months, I didn't want to eat pizza ever again. Does that happen in the food truck where you're smelling shrimp or halibut or salmon all the time, or do you still have an appetite for seafood?
I still have it. I think I won't eat it as often. I won't eat it every day. Neither of us will when we're in there. So when we do like specials that involve chicken or like some type of crispy chicken, usually we're kind of excited for that because it is a break from the seafood. But it doesn't really deter me away from like coming home and having seafood for dinner. We're a seafood eating family, so it's yeah.
Is there something with eating seafood that you didn't really expect to like, but it ended up being awesome? I remember the first time it was like a mango chutney, and it was like hot, but it was mango-y, and I don't have a sophisticated palate. So when I thought, wait, mangoes? What? In like a salsa form, but it was so good, and it was on halibut. I thought, dude, this is unbelievable. Is there something that you really, really like, either that you've sold or you cook at home, that's just a recipe that you love when it comes to seafood and you could never pass it up?
After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly to you. For anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. I was hesitant about having to get a new phone and a new phone number, but with Mint, you can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone and your same phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or for a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and to get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/waypoint. That is mintmobile.com/waypoint. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/waypoint.
I don't know. I have never experimented too much with like fruity flavors like you were just describing. I've had that and I love that, but I never go too crazy with seafood at home. I tend to kind of stick to just kind of the basic recipes. That seems to be what fits my family. But as far as in the food truck, we try to experiment here and there. We've done like with sauces and stuff, we do like a shrimp po' boy, and we always try to do a twist on it from like any standard po' boy that's out there or menu item that's out there. We try to put our own twist on it. So there's certain things like I don't like horseradish, but we use it in a lot of our sauces, and I end up loving it on with seafood on like a sandwich or something like that.
When I was growing up, we did a lot of the lemon pepper salmon. And then as it kind of got older, you figure out just how versatile salmon is. It's not just a big chunk that you have with rice and you have a little bit of lemon pepper. Like, you can do a lot of stuff with it. What is something that that you've found with salmon in particular, which is a good way to cook it for someone who might not necessarily like the taste of salmon, that is kind of the best recipe that you have that makes those people say, hey, this is actually pretty good?
Oh, well, we don't serve salmon at the food truck. I don't know if you knew that, but if we were, I guess.
You got me talking about food now. Actually, I invited this, and it's about lunchtime, so my brain is going off on all kinds of eating tangents.
Yeah, well, I love salmon, and I know that it deters a lot of people because it could be so rich, so oily. But I love that. I love like a good fat king salmon that's sliced and steamed. But I think for someone who maybe doesn't want it to be so oily, or I don't know if they have like the texture issue, it's maybe fried or blackened. If you do like thin it, slice it thin and do like a crispy blackening outer skin on it, or barbecue, and play around with barbecue sauces. That'll kind of take you away from the standard seafood flavors, I think. Or if it was ground up and you did like a salmon burger.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
Possibilities really are endless almost with seafood. And I think some people forget that, especially with salmon, but there's a lot of different things you can do.
The salmon burger is so good. First time I did it was, or I wherever I heard or read or whatever, it was using Ritz crackers. You kind of have that buttery agent that helps things, and then the egg, it keeps it together, and then it just super buttery, and it's, oh man, it's, oh gosh, that's so good. But,
It is.
What's been the kind of I don't want to say flop, but something that you thought maybe was going to work out but didn't, and you've kind of moved on from that? Either it could be business wise or it could be an actual meal wise. What's something that you've learned?
Well, let's see. From the beginning, we opened up kind of late in the summer. So actually July 30th is our anniversary every year. And we try to do like full time during the winters, which that doesn't work. We end up not being very busy. There's not as many people in town, and with the bad weather we tend to have in the fall and winter, it deters people from wanting to get out of their cars and come and pick up food. So we've learned to alter our schedule. We do less days during the winter, and we close we'll usually close for a month or two. And then when we do reopen, it seems, people are more excited about it. We've been gone for a while. So there's that we've learned schedule wise. And I guess food wise, we haven't had, I don't think, too many big flops. Like I said earlier, there's been a couple things we've tried and it didn't seem to be a crazy seller. And I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and I'm having a hard time of it's been a while. I haven't actually been working in the truck now for a while, like I told you, I'm at home with the new baby. So yeah. It's been a little while. I feel a little rusty. But yeah, every year we just learn more. We learn what works for us personally, and then also what seems to work best for our customers and the community. Mm-hmm. And right now we're in when we reopened a few months back, we're in a new spot in front of the Craig Tribal Association building. And that's been, it's been great. I think that it's brought a lot more customers to us. Surprisingly, we're really only a little bit a ways away from where we have always been parked. Mm-hmm. But for some reason it seems to have, it's been great. It's been a great move. And I think it's being in a more open parking lot. We're, I think, more visible. We're next to another building where customers are going in and out to their store. So we probably should have moved a long time ago, but glad we are now. It's been good.
Mm-hmm. How important has the supportive culture of Prince of Wales been? Every year, like for sports, for school, for everything, there's such a great supportive culture over there. And how important has that been with keeping in business and keeping you guys going?
Oh yeah. I mean, our community has just been, they've been great. They've been patient, with us during this process and this adventure that we decided to take 4 years ago. And just happy that people stuck with us. I know at the very beginning, people might have got less than perfect food that went out the window, when we were busy and stressed and our fryers got cold and that sort of thing. But then people, they keep coming back, and they're very supportive over everything. They seem to have understood, just kind of how the food truck works for us, as far as like, we don't have a phone number to call in, and that's because of space in the truck. And people have started to understand certain things like that, and still very supportive over us, even if it means that they gotta wait outside or it's just wild how supportive our community has been for us. We that's what's keeping us going, and we would not be here without them.
What does the future look like? Are you eyeing anything, catering, or more hours, another truck? What's the future look like?
I don't know. Every once in a while we'll kind of talk about if we want to take it a step further, or invest in like a brick and mortar space for us, but I'm not sure. As far as getting another truck or something, probably not. I don't know how that would, if that would do us much good, just being kind of in a small area. But we've definitely talked about doing something bigger at some point down the road. So that might happen. But we also just we love what we're doing now. It's not easy by any means. It's still pretty tough, but it seems a little more simple in the fact that it's just it's a truck. We can close it down, and we're not paying for like a space that we're leasing or anything like that. So I think we're comfortable where we're at now. But yeah, I mean, who knows what can happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome, White. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to be on here, and congratulations on the business. Where can people find you? Give the plug and the contact information.
Yeah. So we are parked at, like I said, the Craig Tribal Association in Craig, and they're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 11 to 3. You can find us on Facebook, Fish and Chicks, and then also on Instagram. And you can definitely reach us on either social media sites.
Great. Thanks a lot, and take care. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much.